Connie Hurtado, Rotarian, is a motivational speaker and undefeated empowerment coach. She currently resides in Romeoville, Illinois, with her husband and 3 children. When not speaking in keynote addresses or facilitating masterminds or workshops, she and her family enjoy games and crafts, including outdoor adventures, painting, and even snuggles and cuddles with a good Disney movie. Connie's mission is to help others recognize their potential and overcome limiting beliefs. She calls this living a life undefeated in your purpose. Contributing to the Romeoville Rotary Speaker Series, speaking on leadership in the community undefeated, please welcome Connie Hurtado.
Everybody, hi, how are you doing today? My name is Connie Hurtado, and about 2005, I got some astonishing news, which I wasn't prepared for. I was diagnosed with cancer. And thinking backwards, I didn't really realize that that was going to mean anything to me, because when they said, you can no longer have children, I said, well, okay, I'm still young, still have time to decide. It didn't hit me until a few years later when I realized that it did affect my life in different ways that I had no idea was going to happen. I actually lost my child. She was born and I got to do the first bath, and we did the first giggles, the first feed, and I loved her, and we did the hugs, and then somehow we ended back up into that hospital, and it was over. What does that have to do with leadership? Because I could have made it this huge blowout. I could have been mad, I could have been angry at the doctors, I could have been angry at the counselors who persuaded me at that moment that I felt to let her go peacefully instead of fighting for her. I could have put it all over social media or the news and said, these people made me lose my child, but I didn't. And years before that, I was in a domestic violent relationship, and I didn't know how to get out. I didn't know where to get help. It happened, and somehow, by the will of wanting to be happy and knowing somewhere deep down inside that I did have a way to be able to be happy, to get out of this relationship, I did, on my own. So I thought. I had family and friends. I had people who said, Connie, you're worth more. You deserve more. And with that, I decided to start investing time into myself. I started looking into ways that I can personally grow. And what would that do for me and for my family? I grew my relationship with my parents. And after having the privilege of having a newborn son, being a scared mommy, I wasn't sure if I'd be a good parent, but after learning my leadership, I became a mother that I could be proud of. And with that, I knew I could be a wife that I could be proud of, that I knew I could be able to influence my husband to do positive and great things. Leadership in our community means being there for one another and taking that step. We have to be the change that you seek. If you want change in your life and you want change in your community, then you have to be that change. It doesn't matter if it's hard, because life is hard, as you can tell. I've dealt with a few things, and I'm sure you deal with a few things. But what's in your heart? What is the influence that you want to leave with, that you want to impact the world with? We deal with people telling us, that isn't right, but what are you wearing when you go to work? You deal with people saying, oh my gosh, can you believe what they've been through? And they're just so caught up into the gossip that they forget their own life and check out. But if you work on developing, on becoming a person of influence, like I teach my clients, you don't have to give up now. You can be that change. You can become that person of influence. You can be the ripple effect and pay it forward. It doesn't have to stop. We have a purpose, and things happen, and it's hard to get through, but you weather that storm. You accept certain things that happened, but you don't accept that it's still there, and you move forward, and you take those leadership skills, and you cause that ripple effect that we were just talking about. and you move forward one step at a time. You don't give up. You keep going. You never quit. The odds are always going to be up against you if you let them. If you let them. I've decided to take on 4 words in my life that I don't let go, and I've recently added one more. Studying the leadership that I do with John Maxwell's team. If you haven't heard of him, he's the #1 leadership guru in the world, and having the privilege to work with him and some of his clients and facilitating some of his workshops, I've come to the conclusion that there's 4 major words that I have to get through with every single day. One is accept. I have to accept the fact that people are different than me and I'm not going to have the same opinion as I do. And I have to accept the fact that it might be hard for you to invest time in yourself to cause these ripple effects. But I do not have to accept the way that people might look at me or treat me. I have to take responsibility, which is the second word, responsibility, to keep moving forward and keep influencing the people that want change, that want to be the change that they seek. That's #2. And it's not in order, just to throw that out there. So we have acceptance, responsibility, honesty, the best policy. That one is guaranteed. But here's something that people don't take a look at. Are you honest with yourself? I can tell myself all day, okay, I look good for this interview. I'm confident. But what am I missing? So I may or may not come out saying, I'm confident, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. But then on the inside, I'm truly scared. If you're honest with yourself, you can work through that fear. That's just an example. And then belief. You don't have to be religious to have belief. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you really do want this change, because I can believe that I want change, but until I intentionally become that change that we want, be a positive influence and impact the world, then it's just talk and just thought. People have good intentions, and then people are intentional about what they do. Which one are you? Leadership can become your daily life. It doesn't mean you have to be the president of the Rotary Club, which we have a great president. It doesn't mean you have to own a company. It just means that you are positively impacting yourself, which will positively impact the people around you, causing that ripple effect. You know, you go into a restaurant at Panera Bread, and everybody's standing in line, and they're standing like this, or they're tapping their feet, and they get to thinking, well, I just don't want to wait here anymore. The person behind you could be tapping her feet because she has to run home. There's somebody in the hospital. The person in front of you has a million different things to do, and the people in the back, they're missing, the people that are working in the back, they're missing 3 or 4 of the employees. Someone got hurt, so they have to make adjustments. So instead of being that person and adding to that negativity, you can be the person saying, hey, how's the United States going? You know, be a little light, because when you inspire that other person to make a difference, be that change, then whether you know it or not, that seed is planted, and now they're ready to smile. When you force yourself to smile, did you know it lets out endorphins? And when you smile, your mood becomes a little bit better. It's all about leadership. Everything rises and falls in leadership. You can make that whole line feel a whole lot better that day. And if you do that, then they're going to go to their office, or they're going to go to the hospital in a better mood, and then they can impact somebody as well. We all deal with negative challenges. We all deal with hardship. We have odds that are against us all the time. It's what you do with it. Do you mope around and dwell in it? Or do you find a way to change it? We always want change, and we want to grow. Evolution. It's not going to happen without you being that change first and causing that ripple effect. This community can grow and will grow, starting with you. Leadership in the community is truly undefeated.